Oh, hello there. My name is Johannes Alejandro Canlas Pilate, and today I will be explaining why casino gambling should not be morally permissible, according to the principles of deontology, as stated by Immanuel Kant, with the motive being greed. To start off, we need to define what is greed. Greed, as defined by the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, is a selfish and excessive desire for more of something than is needed. Now that we know the definition, let's see whether greed holds up under Kant's principles. Considering that the motivation should be considered a right motive or a right intention, greed does not fit that category, as a person who is greedy can never stop wanting more and more. Therefore, the motive cannot be permissible under deontology. The next thing we need to know is the nature of casino gambling. Considering that the nature of casino gambling is not according to duty, or that the person gambling is not obliged to gamble, this makes the nature also not permissible under deontology. That's some fine whiskey cold. The final thing we need to consider are the categorical imperatives. The first form of categorical imperative would be the maxim of the person performing the act. I assume that the gambler whose main motive is greed would have a maxim which sounds a bit like this. If I gamble, I have a chance to win more money, even though the odds are against me. This maxim is not ethical because the maxim is mainly focused on self-interest, which is rather greedy. Considering that in most cases where greed is motivated by self-interest, it leads to an outcome which can cause unnecessary suffering or feelings of inequality with those affected by greedy individuals. Therefore, it is self-defeating. Greed is an inherent human trait. It was essential for survival before the establishment of civilizations, and it can still be useful in cases where it causes the least human suffering. But for this case of self-interest, it would cause more suffering for the individual and those individuals being affected by greed. The second form of categorical imperative is whether others or yourself is being used in the act. Considering that gamblers' winnings are often other people's property, therefore you can consider it using others. Moreover, casinos also manipulate gamblers into gambling more using very subtle methods. An example would be not having any clocks or any windows so that customers cannot tell the time, as well as giving out free coupons or reducing the prices of services such as buffets, shows, or any other service a casino offers, which may tempt the weak-minded into making them gamble even more. Therefore, the person who is gambling is using others as well as being used. In conclusion, gambling with greed as a motivation is not morally permissible under deontology, as it is not the right motive or intention. The nature of casino gambling is not according to duty of the person, and the person also is not obliged to gamble, and that the maxim is self-defeating. Moreover, the person who is gambling is using others and is being reused respectively. Now that's over, I need to find better cover. Cheerio, lads.